Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Welcome to Dig on America, where we speak truth to power. Every week, we give you the dig on how American history, policies, and media created the social and political issues we face today. DOA is independent media supported by listeners, but they'll tell you we're just fake news, deep state propaganda, funded by George Soros, the Clinton Foundation, BLM Marxists, and...
On January 5th, we're scheduled at the moment to have not one but two Young Turks on the show, Jackson White and Ravana. So we'll have a little dig on America versus TYT battle royale.
Yeah, let's see who wins that. Bring your fucking best, TYT.
Yeah. We're trying. I talked today to JR Jackson, like I told Mikey, so I'm calling him out to come on the show. He said he did not say no, but he also didn't
JR, please bring your. I need black people, please, JR, black man, please. I need somebody to help me check Dutch. He be wilding. Please.
Well, funny enough, in the conversation I had with him, there was some other troll in there who said JR was not white because he was not a brother because he supported Biden, and Biden said he wasn't a brother. And I was like, okay, you use that stupid Biden quote, but you also took it completely out of the context that it was used for. So,
also, Biden's like 100 years old. He doesn't know what he's saying half the time.
No, that part is completely accurate.
But guess what, War on Christmas lovers? Your boy lost. And that was the end game, making sure that you don't win.
So speaking of the War on Christmas, that's what we're going to talk about for the bulk of this show.
What a segue.
That was a good segue. So Tim, in the private chat there, you see that there's an article there. Now
I don't see shit in the private chat.
Click the link, Tim.
Click the link.
I don't see anything.
I'm gonna repost it to you because Dutch does not remember that if someone joins a call in mid-session that they don't see the previous chat before they arrived. So I got you.
I see. Okay, so we got more Americans believe.
So this is so read the title of this article.
The title is "More Americans Believe There Is a War on Christmas." Poll finds,
and this is from the Daily Record. So here's the funny part, Tim. I'd like you to read all the way to the phrase "gay marriage." Go. Why the phrase "gay marriage" is in an article about Christian? But go ahead and read until you get to there, please.
All right. This year, more Americans believe that a war on Christmas exists. Poll results show. More Republicans, Trump supporters, and Hispanic Americans said they believe Christmas is under attack. Nearly 4 in 10 Americans surveyed said politicians are trying to remove religious elements of the Christian holiday that commemorates the birth of Jesus. Shows a, what is that? Farley Dickinson University poll. Is that even like a scientific poll? I worked for Quinnipiac. I've never heard of this place.
Farley Dickinson? That sounds like that's like a bot random number generator name.
It sounds like something from the MCU, like some law firm.
That's the law firm that turned down Daredevil, actually.
Yes, that's what it was.
So Trump made this centerpiece claim in the 2020 campaign and in 2018, and he declared victory on the war on Christmas, said Dan Caisino, executive director of the FDU poll. This is the highest we've ever seen it. A big shift is due in part by Trump supporters. The war on Christmas is the belief that politicians and society are trying to remove Christian elements from the holiday and replace them with secular or non-religious elements. The sentiment is widely popular among conservatives and gained traction after, guess what, Fox News host Bill O'Reilly promoted a book in 2005 by John Gibson that alleged that liberals were kicking Christianity out of Christmas. The idea is also concerning to some parents who believe schools should wish students a Merry Christmas instead of saying Happy Holidays, which is the dumbest thing, and include more religious language in the holiday. According to the poll, evangelical or, quote, born-again Christians,
quote,
are also more likely to believe in a war on Christmas than those who don't hold those religious views. It is something that basically exists in conservative media. They believe that this is the first step towards abortion on demand and gay marriage. Is that where you wanted me to stop?
Everything always goes back to gay marriage and abortion. I swear they so this is the funny thing before we even start here. They've already tied Merry Christmas, or I should say more specifically,
Happy holidays.
Season's greetings or happy holidays to abortion on demand and gay marriage.
I have a very important interruption. Remember that surprise article I was going to like surprise you with, Dutch? I didn't want you to know what it was.
Yeah.
You know what? There just might be something to this claim that there is a war on Christmas. I take you all on a little trip to Illinois' state capital. That's right, baby. We're going to Springfield. Boom! Satanic holiday display installed at Illinois Capitol. This was literally 2 days ago.
Yay.
Springfield, Illinois. A satanic holiday display has made a reappearance under the Illinois State Capitol Dome. You guys can see it in the pictures there. And if you guys can't see the pictures because you're listening to us, come over to our YouTube. It's great. Or come to Twitch. It's even better. Members of the Satanic Temple of Illinois came to Springfield, Illinois, Monday to install a satanic display in the rotunda. The installation depicts the deity Baphomet as a baby. Satanic Temple members said that the display is meant to represent plurality, unity, compassion, and empathy, and describe it as a display of positive values. I think so. The Capitol welcomes a diverse range of religions every year to display holiday statues during the holiday season. So we wanted to join in on that, Satanic Temple of Illinois. Minister Adam said, I'm going to skip a couple of paragraphs because it's more just got to get that word count in. Just feet away from the satanic display, members of the Catholic group American Society of the Defense of Tradition, Family, and Property gathered to protest. If that doesn't sound like fundamentalist fucking, what's my boys, libertarians, I don't know what it is. Gathered to protest. Parishioners held banners reading, Satan has no rights, and Mary crushes the serpent.
Is that some sort of weird rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah. Vulcan, Mary, Lizard, Spock, paper, scissors. Is that from the?
Look at him. He's so cute. Look at little Baphomet.
Okay, so first of all, they should have known. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were triggering these fucking guys, and
what?
It's comical because they take the bait. Literally, they were being trolled. 11
out of 10 times they take the bait.
Yeah.
11 out of 10 times.
And oddly enough, in today's dig, you're going to hear a lot more about this. So I'll jump into the dig, and then Mikey's got Haas's job today because he's not here. So in my 8th grade social studies class,
don't make me kick you out of here.
My teacher, Mr. Humble, taught me things that it turns out after doing my own research.
Time out. Can we start a thing?
What kind of thing?
It depends on the thing.
Because, Dutch, you say the same thing to kick off your dig every time. I think you should let the audience say, Mr. Humble.
Okay, let's do it.
You know what I'm saying?
In my 8th grade social...
Hold on.
I was going to start the tradition.
I got it, but I gotta give a little direction to the participants here. So don't just say, Maba Humble. No. Mr. Humble. Like, that's how you have to say it every time.
So this is the reason why we have to make sure that if Irish Swede comes back on the show, that he says it with emotion.
Swede is perfect.
All right. So now, in my 8th grade social studies class, my teacher.
Oh, wait. No, I don't like the way you ramp me up. Don't ramp me up. Just kind of wait. I don't like that. Now it was corny. We went straight Disney Channel with it. Everybody back to one. Speed, rolling, and action.
Now, my 8th grade social studies teacher,
Mr. Humble.
That's so bad.
It's so great. It's going to be a thing. And we're going to have Richard Humble t-shirts. It's going to be fantastic.
He is a real person, by the way, or was. I'm sure he's long gone. He taught me things, though, that it turns out after doing my own research, as the anti-vaxxers always tell me, wasn't exactly the whole story. And this week, we will dive into the topic of the war on Christmas.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's start, and your part's coming up early here, Mikey. Let's start with the basic Christian narrative. So, the Christians believe that throughout American history, Christmas has been a celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ, as laid out in the Gospels of both Matthew and Luke, who Christians believe is the savior of our souls. And to many, it's that, nothing more, and anything else takes away from the religious meaning of the holiday. Giving gifts is a simple reflection of the three magi who brought gifts to the infant virgin-born Christ,
Pause.
as well as...
Why don't we give gifts of frankincense, gold, and myrrh? If that is the tradition, I'm gonna need some frankincense. Gold would be great.
We can blame that on capitalism. We don't have enough gold or frankincense.
Gold is too
Can
expensive.
I get some fucking myrrh? What the fuck?
I don't even
myrrh?
know. I honestly don't even know what myrrh is. Frankincense is a.
Help us. What the fuck is myrrh?
And where's this echo coming from? Tim, is that you?
I don't think so. Is it me?
A little
Somebody,
bit.
I can hear myself echoing a little bit. But anyway, frankincense is definitely a perfume. Gold is
How do
obviously
you know
gold.
that? Is it because it says sense and you like sense a smell? Is that
No,
what
it's definitely a fragrance.
Okay.
But I have no fucking clue what myrrh is.
I think it's a spice. What's your guess, Tim? What is myrrh before I look it up?
I would say it's a spice too. I mean that's all that they had. So
that makes sense because like salt
it's a
was
cell phone.
Salt was it's the new Sony cell phone.
It's the iPhone 14.
No, even worse. It's AI myrrh. Scary. Okay, so while we find out what myrrh is, again, the three magi brought these gifts to the infant virgin-born Christ, as well as Christ's gift to humanity of salvation. But even this is secondary to the true meaning of Christmas, that being gift giving. So the anything else, for example, the phrase happy holidays, is a direct attack on their religious holiday and framed as anti-Christian. Now, as Tim sort of summarized for you in the story that he read, the war on Christmas has been used in the media to denote Christmas-related controversies. The term was popularized by conservatives such as Peter Brimlow and Bill O'Reilly in the early 2000s and has since been driven to amazing heights by Tucker Carlson, Kenneth Copeland, Donald Trump, Pat Robertson, and many, many others.
Pause.
You get to pause all you want because you're up.
Okay. Myrrh is a sap-like substance, resin, that comes out of the cuts in the bark of certain trees. It's used as fragrance in incense and as a fixative. I don't know what a fixative is. In cosmetics. Frankincense is a hardened gum-like material, resin, that comes from the trunk of the boswellia tree. People use it in oil on the skin and in aromatherapy. So it was gold and 2 smell goods.
Yeah, he got gold and something to make in the perfume and something in the making of medicine.
What a gift.
Yeah. He made vaccines and they look good.
He just put a little Axe body spray on them.
So what we're saying is the infant Christ was vaccinated.
He probably smelled.
Remind me about the vaccination. Well, he was born in a barn. Okay, so
remind me about towels in a fucking barn to wipe off the baby.
Remind me about the vaccination later because I have another bit of news on that. So Mikey has some of the more American legal jargon and examples of the war on Christmas. So Mikey, why don't you tell us a little bit about Christmas in the United States and some of the controversies?
He smelled of afterbirth. Christmas Day is recognized as an official federal holiday by the United States government. The ACLU argues that the government-funded displays of Christmas imagery violate the First Amendment. On the other hand, Christian advocacy groups claim that Christmas displays are consistent with the First Amendment. And court rulings have repeatedly upheld accommodationism, which is a judicial interpretation which says government may support or endorse religious establishment as long as it does not show preferential treatment. Supreme Court rulings starting with Lynch v. Donnelly in 1984 have permitted religious themes in government-funded Christmas displays. Bullshit! Now with my tax dollars. The controversy also includes objections to policies that prohibit schools from forcing unwilling participants to take part in Christmas ceremonies. Several U.S. retailers experiment with using, I'm going to say it. Fuck it. I'm going to say it. Happy holidays, or I'm going to say this one too. Season's greetings. Risque. Rather than Merry Christmas, and were boycotted by Christian groups. My parents were part of those groups.
So pause here. So to recap that, people get triggered because schools aren't doing Christian themed, or they want every student to do Christian themed things for Christmas. Can you imagine if the school did a Ramadan play?
They should, because it's saying that these state-sponsored schools are. Let me see what here, which is a judicial interpretation that says government may support or endorse religious establishment as long as it does not show preferential treatment. So that means they're not going to show preferential treatment, and you're going to get Ramadan,
right?
Hanukkah. You're going to get Kwanzaa. You're going to get all of them. Oh wait, you only get Christmas.
Right.
Only.
Anyway, go ahead.
Lost my spot and I found it. Here are 4 notable examples on how the right wing has been raging this war. You got to read it. You can't just show it.
Frustrated atheist says,
You
Mikey, you said happy. Oh fuck, I'm unmuted. Yeah. Am I unmuted?
No, Dutch. Oh god, this is clusterfuck. Dutch is muted and he's just yelling at his microphone. But you already had yours unmuted, so you say it, Tim.
Okay. Frustrated atheist said, Mikey, you said happy holidays. You are trying to kill Christmas.
You gotta do like you gotta clap your hands to bring a fairy back. You gotta get some jingle bells and just jingle them.
You got get some Mike Ortega in you, where you talk and you slap the desk as you do it. I love Mike Ortega.
Who is that?
The guy who was on the show last week.
Oh, that guy. You know his name's not Mike, right? It's fucking David. David Ortega.
Mike.
No. Someone fact check us.
Hold on, I'll.
No, it's Mike. Anyway.
Yeah,
so give us the 4 examples of.
I'll do my very serious voice here. In 2005, Walmart and Target were criticized for avoiding Christmas in their marketing efforts. Promoting faith groups to boycott both companies. 1 year later, Walmart announced that they were amending their policy and would exclusively use Christmas rather than holiday.
Pause. It was Mike Ortega.
Fuck. Is there a David Ortega? Where the fuck did I get David Ortega?
There was a David Torres 2 weeks before that.
Damn it.
Mikey, he just mixes up all his Hispanic candidates.
Damn it. I was like, oh, he got that wrong. Fuck. And then in my head, I was like, oh shit, did I get it wrong? Yeah, I did. I was wrong, everyone. I apologize to David Ortega and Mike.
No, still wrong.
Still wrong. Target used Christmas again in 2008. So it took them 3 years to come around. In 2006, Best Buy announced, I hate Best Buy, that they would not be using Christmas in their advertising and stated, we are going to use the term holiday because there are several holidays. Fair enough. And we certainly need to be respectful of all of them. The AFA and Catholic groups launched boycotts, accusing Best Buy of discriminating against Christians. Today, they use no reference to the holiday, Christmas, or season on their website to avoid scrutiny. Dutch.
I would love to hear Obama say that quote that the person said.
Oh,
there are many holidays.
We're going to use the term holiday because there are several holidays, and we certainly need to be respectful of all of them. I'm going.
You communist! You're a communist.
Gotta respectful of all of them. He just barks. All the last ends of his sentence are just barked out. 87 syllables. In 2008, no, I can't. Home Depot was criticized by the AFA for using Hanukkah on their website while avoiding Christmas. Gotcha, Home Depot. Home Depot responded by adjusting their website to make references to Christmas more prominent, even though Snopes later fact-checked the AFA's claims as false. Home Depot had in fact included Christmas more frequently than Hanukkah. And also, Dutch, you spelled Hanukkah wrong in here. Hanukkah has a C in the front of it. Can you fix that? It's a Hanukkah.
Blame rooters. Yeah. Anyway.
You know, it's funny about that Home Depot stuff because Home Depot is one of those closely held belief companies like fucking Hobby Lobby.
Well, I mean, they want to be able to believe what they want to believe, but no one else can believe anything else. Because that's how the world works to them. On November 1st, 2015, Starbucks introduced Christmas-themed cups in solid red with a Starbucks logo. On November 5th, 4 days later, if I could multiply 24 times 4, I would tell you what that number was. 96. On November 5th, a video by evangelist Joshua Furst. Oh, you just made me say his fucking name, you asshole. Fuck him. Went viral on Facebook where fuckstick fat Fred Durst suggested because Starbucks removed the snowflake theme from the previous cup, they hated Jesus. In the video, he demanded
the baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus. In the video, he demanded his barista write "Merry Christmas" on the cup. The video went viral, catching the attention of then candidate Chester Cheeto, who supported the boycott by saying, "If I become president, we're all going to be saying Merry Christmas again."
And we all know that he won that war. So now, as I said before, this is all right-wing stuff, and they're basically saying that we're stripping religion out of the holiday. But there's some issues with that, however, and it's based in history. The history around this holiday, the Christians themselves used to build the holiday, promote their worldview, and of course, profit from.
What?
Now, it turns out that nobody knows the date of Jesus's birth, and most scholars recognize it to be in the spring, possibly March or April. In fact, early Christians did not celebrate birthdays at all, so it's kind of weird that they need to do it in this case, but it's fine. So it's further claimed in the mythology that Christ's birth was marked by a new star, which, interestingly, theorists say was likely a Class A supernova. Anyway, in ancient Rome, the festival Saturnalia was one of many holidays that gravitated around the beginning of winter. This carnival, which honored the agricultural god Saturn, not to be confused with the WCW wrestler Saturn.
Spell Saturn.
Perry Saturn?
Yeah, Perry Saturn.
Spell Saturn.
Saturn.
His best friend was a mop.
Yeah, well, he was in Vicious and Delicious with Mark Marrow, I think it was. But so this Saturnalia started every year on December 17th, back in the Julian calendar, and would last about a week with public banquets, private gift giving, and a nonstop party atmosphere that overturned Roman social norms. For example, gambling was encouraged, and masters provided table service for their slaves, as it was seen as a time of liberty for both slave and free elite. It was followed on December 25th by a celebration of the god Mithras, which was ritualized by lighting candles. Mithras, oddly enough, this wasn't in the source, but I happen to know, also a virgin birth, born on December 25th, and shepherds came to see him as a baby. So I don't know.
Well, it sounds like what I hear is that like a lot of the Bible stories are stolen from other things. That's what I'm hearing.
How dare you?
After Christianity became the authority in Rome in the 4th century, a date was chosen to honor Christ's birth, and they picked December 25th. Initially, the pagan customs were at first pushed away in favor of a Christ-centered holy day, but it turned out people liked their traditions, so eventually the characteristics of Saturnalia were co-opted by Christians into Christmas. In any given year, alcohol sales increase 125% between Thanksgiving Eve and New Year's Eve. The shortest day of the year is the winter solstice, which is yesterday or today. I forget what day today is.
It's December 21st.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, I forget if today is the 21st or the 22nd. So yesterday was the winter solstice, and this is when German pagans would bring in their crops. They made their beer, and because of food shortages, these pagans would slaughter their livestock because they could not always support all of them through the winter. And they also spent this time hiding from the god Odin, Thor's dad, of whom they were terrified as his flight.
Germans did not believe in Odin. What are you saying?
The Norse tribes were yes, the Germans absolutely. I double checked this because I didn't know that either. The Norse, some of the Norse tribes, and believed in Odin, and so did some of the Germanic tribes, of whom I did not know that, and I studied this stuff, so that was new information. I double checked that today. But anyway, they were terrified of Odin as his flight on the solstice determined who would live and who would die within the next year. The Norse also on this day would burn a large tree. Different tribe, but same idea. They would burn this tree, which would burn for about 12 days. And during this, they feasted on the abundance of extra meat and beer that they got from killing all of their livestock, because again, they couldn't support them through the winter. This feast period was called Yule. They also would bring evergreens and holly indoors because these robust plants were symbolic that life was possible during the long winter. When Christianity started to form in these traditionally pagan areas, these customs were at first pushed away in favor of a Christ-centered holy day, but it turned out that people liked their traditions, so they eventually were co-opted by Christians into the term Yuletide and the Christmas tree. In any given year, Christmas tree farmers are growing over 300 million Christmas trees. It's almost one per person. Christmas in the Middle Ages really picked up, and although evangelicals will tell you it was a day of worship, you basically had two different Christmases going on at the same time. One of solemn prayer and the other of gifts, singing, sex, and most of all, getting fucking hammered. This irritated Protestants who banned Christmas and condemned the Catholic Church for amalgamating the pagan elements into their holiday. In the U.S. in 1650, of course, it wasn't the U.S. yet, but in the New World, Puritans banned Christmas again, not liking the pagan associations and accusing it of being detrimental to chastity. One Puritan leader said, "Men commit more sin on the 12 days of Christmas than the other 12 months." But these bans, of course, did not last because, again, stop me when it sounds familiar, it turns out people like their traditions. By the 1750s, celebrating Christmas with friends and family by having extravagant dinners for the elites which were still separate from the rowdy public Christmas, but also attached in some weird ways, because common folk began the tradition of knocking on the doors of the rich, demanding food and drink. Once they got it, they would move on. If they didn't get it, it's going to be a problem. So if they were refused, let's just say it got ugly. And that's where, from the song,
Pause.
"Now give us some figgy pudding." Oh, I'm sorry. You paused me. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can we go back to doing that? Can we just go to rich people's houses and demand food from them? Because that would be fucking awesome.
I'm game.
All right. I'm coming to Tim's house. the super
You see
super
my
rich.
office, right?
Are you carpooling with Tim to go to the rich people's house?
I'm banging it. Now give me some grilled cheese. Now
'Cause,
give me
like,
some grilled cheese.
Greenwich, Connecticut isn't too far from me. It's like maybe 20, 30 minutes. And that's where all the rich people live.
We can
Oh,
totally
Shane-
get some good figgy pudding from them.
Shane McMahon was there. Let's go to his house.
Yeah, all the McMahons live there. We'll just knock on Vince's door and be like, hey, give me some food.
Give me some figgy pudding.
This here from Frustrated Atheist. I like my Christmas like I like my bedroom full of sex.
Exactly. Very well done.
It's my dick
Frustrated.
in a box.
So if they were refused again, it got ugly. So these rich property owners, of course, shared because they want to protect their property. Basically, more so just to get the common folk to eventually move on to their neighbor's house and let them get on with their night. So a Dutch American professor of literature named Clement Clark Moore, who also happened to be a professor of divinity and Bible learning in New York, had an idea in 1822 when he wrote a poem called The Night Before Christmas, single-handedly creating the modern idea of Christmas. His subject was Santa Claus, who was based by Moore on the priest St. Nicholas and Cinder Claus and Odin, who, as I said before, Odin flew through the sky on an 8-legged horse. Moore left out the devil figure, by the way, that accompanied St. Nick. Instead of leaving treats, a guy named Krampus would bring the switch to punish the naughty childrens. Tim knows Krampus. So this tradition of Santa Claus caught
Some people
fire.
were bad on purpose.
Yes, he loves the switch with his sex-filled, booze-filled
Oh no!
Christmas.
Oh no, Krampus! I'm tied up in my room again.
Darn it! Why do you have that rubber ball in your mouth? Krampus is hippity hoppity Christmas Krampus on his way. That's an Easter song.
No,
But anyway,
no, Krampus, stop! No.
I'm getting a Krampus in my leg.
No, don't stop.
No means no, Krampus. So anyway, this tradition again of Santa caught fire overnight, and 19th century America expanded on Moore's vision, adding the elves, North Pole, stuff like that. And thanks to illustrator Thomas Nast, who had created also the donkey and elephant for the Democratic and Republican parties, as well as the creator of Uncle Sam, then created a modern visualization of Santa. So Santa was unfucking stoppable. And because Santa was invented by a Christian scholar, he was looked at as a little bit less dangerous and was only half-heartedly pushed away in favor of a Christ-centered holy day. But it turned out people liked this new tradition. Is this theme starting to make sense here? So eventually it became amalgamated into Christmas. In the United States, over 20 million kids visit Santa Claus every year.
Bum, bum, bum.
So there is your basic dig. So Tim, I want to start with you as the sub here.
All right.
What is your
He's the dom.
give us your thoughts on, do these evangelicals have a case, or does what I read take their case away? In other words, to quote Marissa Tomei and Joe Pesci, does the defense's case hold water?
Oh man, I just saw that movie recently again too. Fucking
Ah,
movie.
so good.
So good.
What is a grit?
What's a ute?
The two what?
My biological clock is ticking
My
like
biological clock.
I'm done with this guy.
Yo, bro, when that fucking screeching owl went up and he walks out in a leather jacket, his underwear, and some cowboy boots and starts blamming with a revolver, I am in tears. This is the most New York thing I've ever seen.
So Christmas. I was raised Roman Catholic, and well, not raised Roman Catholic. I was baptized Roman Catholic, and then my parents at some point were like, just do whatever you want. And
that's when you started worshiping Krampus.
Yeah, exactly. Worshipping Krampus. I think that, and I've always believed this, that the Bible is just a collection of stories stolen from other people. And
OG whitewash.
I have a lot of friends who are pagan or atheist or some combination of that, and it's just a holiday that was stolen from other holidays, and the stuff that Dutch was talking about how it became commercialized and how people like their traditions, that's all it is. Like, it Christmas has become a monster that cannot be fed. It continues to take more and more of the calendar. Me and my wife always laugh at the first like sighting of Christmas decorations in the stores.
It's right after October, or right
Yeah.
after Halloween.
Well, they start coming in like during Halloween. Like what they'll do is they'll take a section and they'll like put it in the back, and then it's like literally once the last bag of candy is sold on Halloween Day,
Boom, drop it.
it's Christmas.
Drop.
I mean, what happened to Thanksgiving? It just got.
Now here, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Tim. That's Thanksgiving's fault.
Yeah.
But also, we should probably get rid of fucking Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, Thanksgiving is my holiday because it's a cooking holiday.
Yeah, I'm against getting rid of Thanksgiving. I like the turkey. Thank you very much.
No. The Thanksgiving part and the original fucking colonists meeting with the Native American. Like, no, that's all bullshit, and we all know fucking better. We should just call it a Feastmas.
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 I'm all for.
And by the way,
together in a
Thanksgiving is Wayne's favorite holiday.
I bet it is because he never celebrates it.
I am all for replacing Christmas with Festivus. That's what's good for me.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just a big commercial holiday now. I mean, the evangelicals can say whatever they want about, how they want to celebrate Christmas, but they're lying to themselves because it's all about the consuming of things and buying stuff, and Amazon's trying to create a second Christmas in the summer with Amazon Prime Day.
Hey,
and
that is a real day.
Yeah.
Prime Day is
a
real.
real day. But it's just commercialization. That's all Christmas is now. It's been
name me any holiday. Name me any holiday that's not.
There isn't.
Arbor Day.
You might be able to get away with that.
President's Day, but that's always a mattress sale.
Yeah. Yeah, the mattress, but the Easter is commercialized. St. Patrick's Day is commercialized. Valentine's Day, Sweetest Day was invented to sell.
Yeah.
To be a second Valentine's Day.
Same day as Boss's Day, isn't it? Or like a week later?
What is Boxing Day? Can we start celebrating Boxing Day in
Boxing
America?
Day is the Boxer Rebellion in China.
Yeah.
Well, there's one in Canada too, isn't there?
Yeah, Canada has a Boxing Day too. That's something else.
That's when Floyd Mayweather is revered.
He used to read a little. He used to read a little something every year, but we have since asked him to stop.
Yeah, because now it's MMA Day. Boxing Day's been replaced by UFC Day.
He's just a terrible reader. He's worse than me.
But I mean, if you think about it, there's so much more now to Christmas than even when we were kids. Like, there's the relentless amount of bad Christmas movies that the streaming services put out. It used to just be like Lifetime, but now it's
Hallmark.
Everyone, and it's just compounds on itself. There's so much ridiculous Christmas stuff.
What are your general thoughts on, like, I'll be honest, I've always liked Christmas, right? Like, I'm not like, there's a couple people in the chat are like, fuck Christmas. I'm not in the fuck Christmas camp. Like, I think Christmas Eve is probably my favorite day of the year because I haven't worked on Christmas Eve in like 15 years, so I'm blessed in that way. But I like getting the presents ready for my kids. Yeah. I like the wonder in my kids' eyes.
Dutch,
you know what I mean? But like,
Dutch, you're bending the knee to capitalism. Repeat what you just said in your head. You're bending the knee. Jon Snow.
But
Jon Snow will bend the knee.
If I didn't bend the knee that day, I'd bend the knee another day. So it's like, on their birthday or whatever. So it's like, but I have good memories of Christmas as a kid. But
Still
like,
got you, Jon Snow.
but I have never felt for 1 second like Christmas is under any sort of attack whatsoever. What's under attack is history.
They have Baphomet in the goddamn state capital. What do you mean it's not under attack?
You're right. You've proven
where
it.
is my flying spaghetti monster in the
Oh,
bassinet?
yes. He can be in a no. The flying spaghetti monster was born into a garlic bread bowl. That's his little manger.
I am not.
He was born in a lasagna.
I am not anti-Christmas. I like the sense of family that Christmas has, for the most part, and I like, the general idea that there's a holiday that everyone gets together and is just nice to each other. Like, that's supposed to be what Christmas is about.
Yeah.
This from Russ. You leave my jingle all the way out of this, Tim.
That's one of the good ones. Jingle All the Way is one of the good ones. It's so bad that it's good.
So let me pose to you guys a question. And I knew we were going to do the dig today on this. And there is a dark side to Christmas. And
Sure.
and it's not just me being this hyper liberal soy boy libtard. It's not that. But as
you are a bit of a soy boy, though.
They can soy boy these hands. They can see me in person.
I got called a soy boy on election day, and I didn't understand that.
But he wasn't wrong. Okay, so facts don't care about your feelings, Tim. Anyway.
Oh, gee, shut up, Ben. But the thing that people like just like what you just said there, Tim, family. Christmas is about family. We are displaying our Dunning-Kruger, where we assume that Christmas is a good time for families. We assume that people's families are good people to be around. A lot of motherfuckers I know have fucking shitty families. So getting together with all of the drunk uncles, all of the racist cousins, all of the abusive family members at once, and you are forced, you are mandated. It is socially driven into you that you have to hang out with these people for the whole day. You have to, if you are gay, you're going to have to field questions from all your shitty cousins, right? If you're trans, you're going to get looks from everybody the entire time. If you are a blended family where some people are Mexican, some people are black, some people are white, some people are Asian, that all has to be brought into it. And that's where all of those tensions happen. That's where all that stuff happens. Another thing to put a little damper on your Christmas, it is the highest rate for suicide because of that same social pressure that the holiday puts on people. So when people ask me, when are you in Christmas? I'm like, because it's not great. It's shitty. You force people to do things that they're not ready to or they don't want to do. And I can tell you one thing, if like my family is excellent. Like I grew up with great people, but most of them are great, right? There's a couple of bad eggs. And there is nothing more damaging or triggering than to be forced into an occasion with your abuser or attacker or the person that's shitty to you, right? And then if you don't do it, if you say, no, I'm going to stay home if so-and-so is going to be there, now you're a Scrooge. You Scrooge, you nasty Christmas hater. Why don't you like being happy? There's this pressure to be happy, which is not healthy for people who may suffer with any number of mental challenges or self-esteem challenges. Like it's not a great time of year for everybody.
Okay, so I'm gonna punch back at you a little bit, and here's and that I'm not disagreeing with what you said.
How dare you fight with me?
That is not unique to Christmas, though. You can say the same thing about a wedding, about a birthday, about any social gathering. Now with Christmas, there is a unique characteristic to it that Christmas is fucking long. Right, like
Christmas is a month and a half long.
Yeah, it's basically like we said. It basically starts depending on the person. Like, for me, it kind of starts on Thanksgiving, right? Like I look at the holidays as Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving when we hang out at the bar here. Yeah, to New Year's Day. When I was more deeper into faith, I used to leave the Christmas decorations up until the Epiphany, which is January 6th. But and traditionally that's fine if people do that. But the
Don't do that this year, Dutch. It's not good.
no,
to celebrate
now
January 6th.
I take the Christmas decorations down when the weather allows. So if it's December 26th or January 6th, it doesn't matter.
Oh, fuck you. You live in California, asshole.
That's
Who
right.
cares what their fucking weather? Shut up.
No, but it's very rainy here in the winter time. So.
Dutch might get wet. You might get wet with the rain and all.
You know what? It's raining every goddamn day here.
You got soft, Dutch. You got fucking soft, man.
And then it's gonna snow because it's fucking Connecticut.
Well, but that's even more true in Chicago. There was times where I didn't take the Christmas decorations down until like February because it wasn't.
And nobody said, and nobody batted a fucking eye. Because I get it, man. No,
but there's a big difference. I will say this though: the Christmas spirit in California, at least in Bakersfield, you would think for like a right-wing town, there is none like that. You walk into businesses, there's almost no Christmas music playing. People don't. Barely have any decorations up. Like on our street, there's me and the neighbor right next door. The neighbor's got a ton of shit. I have a moderate amount of shit. And then there's one guy down the way who's got like one bush lit. And the other 15 houses on the block are completely dark. Right. And they're all white people. It's not like we have, some Arabs or Pakistanis on our block. That pretty much everyone on our street is white or Hispanic. And
okay.
No, but so the spirit is like not the same as it was in Chicago. Like we don't have a state street, where you can drive down and look at all the and like that part of Christmas I always thought was great. Yeah, Santa's Village back in the day was awesome. But like I always loved going down to State Street on the like Michigan Avenue in the holidays. And
baby.
Yeah, those lights are fucking awesome, dude. Like Rockefeller Center in New York on the tree is fucking awesome. Right? Like I got that stuff's cool.
I got a couple comments here. Our good buddy, Bill Lamond.
Fill the pond.
Fill the pond, Bill Lamond. I am a frustrated Christian. See what he did there, Russ? And I don't see anything to the supposed war on Christmas except a straw boogeyman. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. And Bill has a couple of comments here. I'm going to read them because Bill is a longtime listener.
And patron.
If one of my brothers comes out gay, I'm just gonna ask him what he thinks of the live action Cowboy Bebop. Love that.
But real quick, the second part of what you okay, go ahead.
I'm giving Bill his praise, man. Give him his flowers. I'm great. Bill says, I'm grateful my family never put me in the position of being unable to avoid. It's a wonderful, I think that's life. During my 30 years of clinical depression. There you go.
Yeah, that movie is earth-shatteringly long.
It's so long before he gets to the part where the angel finds. It's like the entire movie is how his life just deteriorates, and then the last 20 minutes is he meets the angel. It's so ridiculous.
They should have made that a mini series, but they didn't know how to do that back then.
It's coming out on Disney Plus. They need right after the Book of Boba Fett. But the
oh my God, when does that come out? Oh, you just reminded
Wednesday.
me. Stop. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Wednesday. Wednesday is episode 1. So I just finished Hawkeye. Hawkeye, the last episode, the finale was today.
I didn't watch it. I waited to watch all of them at once, so I'm gonna watch all. If
you liked Daredevil, watch Hawkeye.
I hate that guy though.
You don't like?
Oh, Jeremy Renner.
Can we sub him out for somebody?
That's what they're doing. That's what the series is about.
He's not in it?
No, he's in it.
He's in it, but it's like his last thing. It's his last thing.
So I can watch this, and that's the last I have to see of him.
I wouldn't say that, but you're getting there.
Come on!
You're getting there. Like he's already in another show, that Mayor of Kingstown or whatever the fuck it's called. But anyway, so you mentioned I kind of lost my train of thought. You mentioned the thing about Christmas. You said obviously the depression part, and there was another piece but you mentioned too. What was that other piece?
Your family isn't great.
Some people have really bad families.
Yeah, but
family get-togethers are rough.
Yeah, but that's the same dynamic that I said wasn't unique to Christmas. So you had a different point that I was going to touch on as well, but I can't remember what it was. So we'll just move on, unless you can remember what you were about to say there.
It's okay. I can rewind to what you were saying before you asked me what you were at, and then I can tell you what you were saying. So I'll mute for a second.
So he's going. So Tim, so but the war part, right? So like, even though like I can get on board with the fact that there are religious people who believe that something is adherent to it, that something is foundational to their belief. But like what Mikey read early on, we have a First Amendment in this country. The government cannot promote one religion over the other. And private businesses, thanks to the Citizens United decision, they have freedom of speech, right? Money is freedom of speech, and therefore actions are freedom of speech as well. They don't have to do shit.
They had freedom of speech well before Citizens United. There was a law passed in like the early 19th century that said that corporations had the same rights as people when it came to what they can say and do. That's been law before it was Supreme Court precedent.
So what is it that they're trying to do then? They're saying that you shouldn't have freedom of speech when it comes to Christianity? I'm confused.
No, it's this like, all right, it's this Christian persecution conflicts that they have.
Yes, we're under attack.
Yes, and it's a right-wing thing as well, and it's developed into this, everything that the left says and does is an attack on the right, and the left does it too. But the religious thing is, first it started with like no prayer in school, then it became war on Christmas, and then it became apparently war on Christmas became about gay rights and all this other stuff. Like the evangelical Christian right is very good at pretending that they're being persecuted, when in actuality all the United States, the government does is protect them. That's all that happens, is they get protected over and over. They get protected in the Supreme Court. They get protected by the states. And their persecution is just a way of saying, I'm not getting exactly what I want. I'm not getting prayer in school. I'm not getting the United States endorsement of Christmas, even though it's already a federal holiday. So I'm not really sure what else they want.
So Dutch, you were talking about Christmas goes kind of from Thanksgiving to New Year's. I think you were talking about how you were leaving your Christmas decorations up, and then we started talking about that, and then that's where the point got lost.
Okay, so yeah, I don't remember what the point was then.
All right. Okay.
So, but you had a second point that that you brought up, but anyway, I defeated it because it's gone. But like, so
just
Christians
like your
will do
fucking Christmas, Dutch. I defeated it. Baphomet is at the Capitol.
Baphomet is at the that is the cherry on top of the war on Christmas. I can't wait. I didn't know anything about that. I'm so excited to see what's going around on Facebook.
I should pull up the fucking comment section from like the weird app that like posted the news story, like the Newsbreak app. It is hilarious how these
they're triggered,
divulge into racism, homophobia, transphobia, fucking like they just spark into everything. Third comment down. It didn't take much. There's like two people that said, I'm a Christian. I don't care. They should have their stuff up there like I have my stuff up there.
Oh, the 3% of them that are reasonable, because like, and I consider myself among that 3%, but like, it's like, I have aunts and uncles and stuff like that who will tell me all the time that Christianity is under attack. And then they'll usually say, well, look at this policy from Russia. Look at this policy from China. Because China did do some things to mitigate the religious aspects of Christmas.
Yeah, they're called the Uyghurs.
So what? So they're saying that because our ideology is closer to communism than theirs is, that they're assuming that we're going to do the exact same thing. They'll talk about how Islam is a satanic religion, even though they worship the exact same God, and that that this propagates things like gay marriage, that's the stupidest thing that you've ever heard in your life. It has to be, because Islam is far more anti-gay, at least fundamentally speaking, than Christianity has ever been. So what are you talking about? It makes no sense whatsoever.
They only call Muslims anti-gay when they want to attack Islam, never when they want to describe their own policy, their stances on certain policies.
That is absolutely correct. They love to talk about how gays are treated in
And
Islam.
they hate the trans peoples. It's like, well, what's your thoughts on it? Why you got to change it to me? I'm talking about them.
Also, going back to China, China went through a cultural revolution where it won't even acknowledge its own religion.
Correct.
For decades. Like the Chinese Communist government has only just recently allowed people to practice the ancient Chinese religions. And so comparing like that to what their persecution belief is of Christmas is ridiculous. Like, America didn't go through a cultural revolution where no religion was allowed.
Yeah, and it's funny that so right-wingers again, and again, the left does this too, but the right wing, when they do it, it's way more dangerous. And here's what I mean. The right wing will tell you all the time, that freedom of religion, that this is a freedom of religion isn't really, like separation of church and state specifically, that's not in the Constitution, that was written by Thomas Jefferson in a letter after the Constitution, after the First Amendment was written, right? And they'll cite all of these other texts, like the Declaration of Independence and some of the beliefs of some of the signers of the Constitution, the founders and framers of this country, and use that as evidence to the fact that this is a Christian nation. But then when you go to the Second Amendment, they say, no, only the text of that matters. None of the other documents or writings or statutes that were in place have anything to do with anything. It shall not be infringed. In fact, they don't even talk about the first sentence of the Second Amendment. They only talk to you about the second sentence of the Second Amendment.
Are you ready for this?
This is amazing hypocrisy.
Are you ready for this? I found it. I found the comment section on the app that I get my news.
Okay, share it.
Here it is. Big boy. What kind of voice should I do for this first guy? Why would you place negativity at a time like this? Seriously. Rolling eye emoji. Great. Let's call the devil in. Oh, that's right. She already here. How disgraceful. No, this is all in reference to the Baphomet.
You see how they mixed in the homophobia there? The he, she. Yeah. This is unbelievable, says Eric Villarreal.
Don't read their fucking names. Stop it.
Fuck him. I'm doxing his ass.
No, we don't read their fucking names. Fuck them. They don't get spins on this. If you want your name read on this fucking channel, then you fucking spend some money. You ain't getting it for free.
Eric from 123 State Street says, this is unbelievable. The government is doing everything to take God and his son out of everything. Except that they're not, as we just proved to you in the dig, because every single time that the right wing has confronted something, what do the corporations do? Every single time they back down in some way or another. Because why? Because Christians have money and they spend it. And that's all that matters to them. So he continues. Just goes to show what God they wish upon man. This makes me absolutely sick.
All right, Tim, you got the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul, last name withheld.
Paul Gosar.
Yeah. Paul, last name withheld, says, what a bunch of shit. Why is this even allowed? I keep forgetting, though, this is the Socialist Republic of Illinois under the dictatorship of Prickster.
Oh, see how they changed his name to Prickster?
Oh my God. That is
Show us some more.
All right, let's load some more comments. Oh, Jesus. They're on the side now. Okay.
There's
Wait, let's read what Jen said there. That looks like a sensible thing.
This is a comment on the first guy who Dutch read, Eric. So Jen says to Eric's response, Dutch.
Oh, so you are blaming the separation of church and state, the right to representation and freedom to worship as you choose on Democrats? Interesting that you seem unaware that those run a bit deeper in a democracy.
Now let me ask you guys a follow-up question for the people who can't see the screen. How many upvotes does Jen have? The last comment you just read.
9.
And how many does the original fuckstick have?
37.
That's why I'm moving to Canada. Because there's no point, dude. It's called game. Oh, here. Paul, last name withheld. He has a comment on his. Go ahead and read that one.
Eric last name withheld says to Paul, freedom of religion extends to all. If there can be Christian nativity scenes, we have to allow this as well.
He's a little bit closer, 33 to 19.
So maybe we're working them down. I'll read Jim. I'll read Jim here. Oh, Eric. Eric, the last name withheld, is all over these comments. I like Eric. Maybe we should try to get Eric on the show.
Yeah, what's Jim say?
Jim says it's offensive, but Baphomet more correctly displays what the abortion fascist loving demon crats of Illinois serve.
I love how he yells into the background. Your mom says no big deal, but at Merry Christmas.
Wait. You forgot Eric last name withheld.
Oh.
And he says, and to some, displays of the Christian faith are offensive.
Your mom says no big deal, but at Merry Christmas and the lip. Obviously, your mom can't type very well. No big deal, but at Merry Christmas and the libtards lose their donkey minds. How about we all celebrate however we want and no one else interfere? She just countered her own. She just countered her own comment.
Your mom's not very good at making points.
Here's one from #message. Satan want to be like Jesus so bad it's sad. Thank you, Green Jumper with the best comment with no fucking responses. It's all imagination. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, all right.
The Overlord. Here's one more, last one. I think he's got a fucking V for Vendetta. What's the guy's? Is the guy's name
Guy Fawkes?
Guy Fawkes. He's got a Guy Fawkes avatar here. He says, "I think it's fitting for all the evil demon crats down in Springfield."
He didn't get any upvotes though.
I wonder why.
Let's see what Benjamin Loomis has to say.
Yeah, say his last name.
Fuck him.
Stop giving them spins, man. They gotta pay for that shit. This shit ain't free over here.
Well, with the current climate in our society today and the capital D devil worshipers out there and socialism, narcissism out in the open. Are you talking about Trump? No surprise what's happening. Again, a great typer. But God still in control on his throne in Jesus is still son of small G God. So he look at what he did. He capital D devil and he's small G God.
See, he's part of them.
Yeah, in John 3:16 states is the only way to truly life, not these false religion. So there is an inherent trend among right wingers that they cannot type nor make a point.
So does anyone know Dutch? Do you know what a Satanist is?
Well, a Satanist is basically not someone who worships the devil. Anton LaVey, I think I'm saying his last name right, was not also a devil worshiper. They used the devil as proxy for anti-religion. Stop telling me
a damn story and answer the damn question. Do you know what a Satanist believes?
A Satanist believes in no God. The Satanic Bible is all ridicule.
No.
Yes.
No. I will.
Satanists do not worship the devil. I'm sure that there are.
Google, Mikey.
I'm sure that there are a couple that do, but in general, it is a philosophy of anti-godness.
No. See, I'm glad we talked about this. Satanism is a group of ideological and philosophical beliefs based on Satan. It is based on Satan. So don't say it's not about Satan. It is. It's about Satan. Contemporary religious practice of Satanism began with the founding of the Atheistic Church of Satan in the United States in 1966, although a few historical precedents exist. Prior to the public practice, Satanism existed primarily as an accusation by the various Christian groups. Oh shit! I need that. Hold on, I gotta find the part of it. So pretty much,
they're saying basically what I said.
No, it's not so much.
They're not
you can
worshiping
say yes
Lucifer.
in the. It is about Lucifer's teachings and Lucifer in the Bible. It is about Satan. Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, I know a little bit about this. Satanism is self-worship. That's what it is. It's not anti-God. You worship yourself. And it's like the whole Satan is just in Satanism, Satan is just an angel. Because in Christian mythology, he's a fallen angel. So the idea of Satanism is to worship oneself and your own values and all that jazz. And it's not so much about worshiping Satan.
Satan is more a proxy, wouldn't you agree? For
yeah, but it's not an atheist religion. It's just a self-worship religion.
Well, that's a counterproductive statement too. I mean, you can't have an atheist religion, or can you? Maybe you can.
Well, I think from the Satanists I know, it's about because they're all former Christians, full disclosure, and or Christian sects or whatever you want to call it. In their eyes, Satan was not the bad guy in the Bible. Satan is the guy that wanted knowledge. He wanted full experiences. He wanted autonomy. He wanted those things for humans, and God did not. So that's why they have their own beliefs of what God portrays on people versus what Satan does to people.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So it's sort of a Mephisto was right.
Well, I mean, there was like the snake in the garden, and he was like, yo, eat the fucking apple, dude. You need to know shit. And then there was this dude like, I'll kill anyone who eats the apple. And he's like, dude, eat the fucking apple, bro.
I can tell you this. When I went to when I studied this in college, because like I have a degree in religious studies, and I don't remember everything like off the top of my head because this was in the 90s.
Because you were drunk.
But high, but yes. But the
most
I don't recall ever hearing one thing about someone actually worshiping Satan. Now, that's not to say that they
don't worship, though. It's not like I'm going to go to church and praise him. Like that. It's not that kind of service. It's
more of a spoof than anything else on Christianity.
All of these fucking religions are spoofs to people who don't believe in them.
Yeah, but but Satanists are trolling Christians.
It's only not a spoof if you believe in it. Because if you don't believe in any of it, it's all spoofs, bro. Like spoof is such a subjective kind of like term for something that's happening in real time. Yeah, people believe this shit, but do I think they're legitimate and they honestly believe all this shit that they're saying? Maybe 50%.
I would say it's more like about 2%. But I would argue that it's probably you probably have, and this is where I'm open to things being not necessarily defined in the textbook. I guarantee you that there are people who actually do worship Satan, but that is not the overall view of Satanists, right? Like it's Satanism at large is basically people who are just anti-Christian religion. And that's really where it ends. It's
Judeo religions, because they feel like the hero is the bad guy and the bad guy is the hero. Like they're on the other side of the coin.
I'm not sure that most of them actually believe that Lucifer was a real being, though. I'm not convinced of that.
So, looking this up briefly, using Mikey's Wikipedia here, there's like 3 different kinds of Satanism. The first one is called Luciferism, where it's a belief system that venerates the characteristics attributed to Lucifer, not believing that he's the devil, but he is a destroyer, guardian, and liberator, and light bringer. Basically, he gives you free will.
His name was Morningstar.
Mm-hmm. Then there is an occult version of Satanism called either the Order of the Nine Angels or the Temple of Set, which is more pagan and anti-Christianity.
Right.
And then there's one that I was talking about, which is personal Satanism, which is self-worship. This is a doctrine that Satanist groups that you identify the attributes of free will given by Satan to you.
Mhm.
So you're worshiping yourself because you have free will. Those are the three basic versions of Satanism.
I had never heard of Luciferism ever before. That's the first time I've heard that phrase.
Yep.
So
It's a thing.
is that a newer thing, or is that just a less prominent thing?
If you're not in the know, then maybe it doesn't come up a whole lot, because as soon as people say Satanist, it could be any of the three, right? So you're not going to get.
I think though that the common dummy that you meet on the street, especially like guys who would be in like my men's group at church.
But dude, we live in America, so we gotta drop the bar super low.
Dutch,
we do, but I think though
14th century.
What?
14th century. It started in the 14th century, Luciferism.
It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still people who can't find like the USA on a map if we like take all the lines away. So just bear in mind what people think is not always indicative of our knowledge as a people.
Yeah, and I think though, and Frustrated Atheist makes a good comment here. So he says, I've looked up the Church of Satan, and it said they stand in opposition to Christianity. That was a while back, so take it with a grain of salt. So that is exactly what like you'll learn about in college.
Church of Satan is not Satanism.
But let me finish out my thought. So I think though, and this is, I'm not saying this is true, but I think
this is true from Dutch, that
if I were to poll the guys in my men's group, the 8 or 9 of them, that 7 to 8 of them would say that they are actually worshiping, that they believe that Satanism actually worships the devil, like prays to him, wants to go with him, for like believes that he is an actual deity, that they think it is that.
But
and whether or not they actually, and they would say this, and this is Christian philosophy coming into play, that whether or not they actually are serious about believing it, and this is where they get to back themselves up because they're right even when they're wrong. So even if you prove them that they're wrong about what about what I just said, they still say yes, but anything not worshiping God is de facto worshiping the devil.